the result.
You don't get to see the result.
They don't get to see the result for a little while.
Oh yeah.
It's difficult at times. I mean, we myself, I've judged myself. How many times have I done something right and finished and be like, that wasn't right? And how many times did I do it right and then I finished and my coach came over and said, hey man, great job, and I said, no, I didn't do a good job. So as a coach, we also deal with the, he doesn't feel good about it, and so I'm not always getting validated by their work.
Yeah.
So I don't just do it for the fact that they give me oh coach, I did a great job, thank you. I'm not always going to get the validation. I trust that even if they're not feeling it right away, that they're eventually going to get the reward. That they're learning the lesson. That they're getting the thing that they're supposed to get from us working together, from them being in the presence of what we're doing, creating.
Right. And even if that's not physically the thing that you need, maybe it's a lesson that they learned about failure. Or maybe it's a lesson they learned about perseverance, or a lesson about how to just be consistent at something, even if they didn't get the physical.
That's what I learned in school, is like doing something, putting your whole heart into it, and like it's still, I don't want to say not good enough, but you still didn't get where you wanted, and you're still feeling like, well, sometimes that happens in life, where like you put all you got into it, and you're still not happy with your results.
Yeah.
Maybe outside the gym or outside your coaching, just like you do the best you can in your home, and something still messes up, and you're like, well, is that because I'm not a good person, or just like it just didn't work out? But it's not a reflection of like you as a soul.
Right. It's not. Yeah.
That brings up the idea of going through processes and not necessarily going through them for the destination, but going through them for the journey and what the journey can bring, right? And one of the things, since knowing you, that I'm very interested in, one of the situations that you immerse yourself in for the journey is having and juggling multiple partners.
Oh.
He's like,
yeah.
Don't blush. Don't blush.
I blush though.
This is something that I'm very curious about. If you're open to sharing.
Hell yeah, I'd love to talk about
let's
this.
go.
When did this start, and how did it sort of unfold?
All of the.
Oh man, well, I was fortunate enough in the last couple years, 2 to 3 years, to meet some people that were in the open relationship, polyamory world, and I got curious. It sparked something in me, and it got me thinking, man, I've been lying for so long to these girls in my life, and yeah, I see some part of it is me. I have a lying tendency. Got it. So then I worked on that, and I realized that I had some validation. I wanted to be validated by these people, and so on, and I still had the issue with lying. But eventually, once I cleared that up, and I started to see, okay, well, what do I actually really want? I'm like, well, I feel like I can hold and I can maintain a relationship with one person for sure. And once that becomes stable, like maybe I can add something else in my life, and maybe it's not like a full-on romantic relationship, but it's just a great friendship. And maybe we have a small, intimate sexual connection too. And I don't think it's any different than having a bunch of friends. It's just depth of friendship.
It's just one more level.
One further level of friendship.
Than just like the normal, I guess, I'm gonna put normal in quotations, normal friendship level.
Correct.
It's a little bit further past that.
So rather than saying, okay, just have a partner, one partner, but let's just say I have another girlfriend, and she and I decide to become, sexually intimate and become like further their connection. Many people will see that as like, oh, but I'm afraid of what this is gonna do to our relationship. That happens.
Your other relationship, or the one you're having with that person?
The one that, like, most people when they try to have another, like a sex partner, they don't want to do it a lot of times because they're afraid of what that's gonna do to their friendship and their relationship, right? But the way I see it is we're furthering, we're making it. We're going even another step into the relationship. We're opening the relationship even more. We're having more depth in the relationship.
Yeah.
There's deeper communication that happens. So that, I mean, that's how that, in my mind, how I see it. But how to juggle it, man, it's all communication. Again, is being able to express to my current partner. I don't have a current partner right now, but I have a person in my life that, that she is my lover, I could say. And I'm also like juggling other people in my life too. And it's all just very direct communication. Not being afraid of telling my current person that I have, hey, I want to do this with this person. And I like this person. Mm-hmm. And then having a conversation around it. And that's how I've been able to do it. That's how I've learned from other people that they do it.
Yeah.
It's just have the most direct communication and being willing to take it slow. Because when I started this, it wasn't like, I get to have all of it right away. Yeah, it was like I get to express my desire, and my desire maybe was like, hey, I want to have sex with this girl. And maybe the partner that I have at the time goes, I'm not really comfortable with that. But what I am comfortable with is you going on a walk with her. And start there. And like, okay, I can do that. Cool. And then we'll go on a walk, come back. How's the walk? It was great. Cool. Well, I feel really comfortable with that. I feel like I trust you more. And I'd be happy if, like, it'd be okay with you guys maybe kissing next time. That'd be cool. You go on a walk and kiss and whatever. Mm-hmm. And just being patient. Like, being patient in the process of...
it's these baby steps.
Baby steps in growing another relationship while having one on the side too. Now, not every relationship is going to work like that.
Right.
And some partners may never be okay with opening up like that, and that's okay. I am in for the relationship and partnership that allows me to have that kind of relationship.
So that brings up...
I have one question.
Yeah.
Would you say that's something that took you some time to the pace that you maybe want to go with other people? So you're in a relationship with someone and you're like, this other person I want to get to know at a deeper level. Is that something that, like, what was that process like for you to, like, okay, I need to pull back my expectations, like, be patient for my partner's sake? Is that something that took you some time to, like, because now you realize that that's a thing you need to be aware of. Was that always the case, or is that something you kind of like found like, my partner needs me to be a little bit slower right now?
Yeah. I mean, I just understood. I had the understanding understanding that if I wanted to make this work, it had to work between us both.
Yeah. So
I get to be patient.
Yeah.
And work at our pace. It wasn't my pace.
It
wasn't her pace. It was
collectively
our pace. Like, what was the pace that the relationship needed for me to go further? So then the relationship needed me to go just on a walk with her. That's it. Mm-hmm. But what I wanted was like go all the way, have sex with a girl, right? Yeah. And I just had to be okay with that pace. And if I'm not okay with that pace, then it doesn't work. I'm gonna get in a fight. I'm gonna try to be like, you don't let me have what I want. I don't. You're not allowing me to be the man that I want to be. But right? Yeah. And as a man, I get to practice like being grounded, staying present, not rushing things, and allowing my woman to have her process and for me to be understanding of where she's at.
Yeah. So you've been in traditional monogamous structures. Right?
Hell yeah.
So monogamous structures versus, I guess I would just, for general like overlay, I'm just going to say versus open, right? What has been sort of, like each one has their pros and their cons. But when you talk about the benefits of like you growing as a person, what's been the difference of being in an open relationship, growing as a person versus the way a monogamous relationship makes you grow as a person?
Yeah. Wow. I have never been this honest, like this level of honest in my life.
Which you are right now.
I am the most honest person that I've been. That's this very second.
And that is a byproduct of
this right here. Me being so open, because I started to practice with the people in my life that I was not practicing being honest. The most amount of honesty, which is, hey, I like a girl here. She's cute. just saying that, just being able to express that. And that might not be okay with some people, but for me, it needed to be okay. It needed to. I don't know if it's necessarily needed to, but my partner at the time,
you wanted it to be okay.
I wanted it to be okay. My partner let it be okay. And when that happened, I was like, oh, wow, I'm not wrong, bad. I'm not shamed for having these thoughts.
Yeah.
They're just thoughts. I'm not necessarily saying I'm desiring her. I'm not saying I'm going to go talk to her. Maybe that's okay with my partner at the time, but I'm not saying that. I'm just it's okay for me to have these thoughts, and it wasn't okay before. I didn't make it okay. I was not with partners who made it okay. I also didn't stand up for myself to say I want this to be okay. I just didn't. I didn't stand up for myself to say this is what I want. When I first got with my last partner, Tiana, it was such a direct conversation. I told her right away from the first conversation we had, I want to be in an open container. I really like you. You're really awesome. And I'm in a place in my life right now where I know what works for me is to be able to hang out with other women. And most of them are just girlfriends, like friends.
Yeah.
But I still want to have the freedom to perhaps do more. And that may be a conversation between us, but I'm just letting you know the kind of person that I am so that you're not surprised later down the road when I say, yeah, I want to hang out with, Jenny. Yeah. And Jenny and I want to go on a walk, and I think Jenny likes me and I like her too. So maybe we want to further that. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
So I want to be able to say all that comfortably.
Yeah. And by being preemptive, right? It's like you set the expectations from the front, so she can actually say no from the beginning.
Right. So the moment if Tiana would have told me in that moment when I said to her, yeah, I this is who I am, this is how I like to do my life and relationships, she would have told me, that's just not for me. I don't do it like that. Then I would have been like, awesome. Well, that's great. No problem. I told her in that moment, if that's not okay with you, not a problem whatsoever. We can just end it here. We can just be what we were right now and stay friends or whatever. Move on. It doesn't have to be anything. I was not attached to the outcome. Never. I started to letting go of being attached to the outcome, especially in relationship and with girlfriends.
That's a second benefit of this, right? Like honesty first, but also being detached from outcome.
Yes.
And also kudos to you for holding, you knew for yourself that's what you wanted, regardless of what they, in this case Tiana, even though if she said no, it's but that's something that you value for yourself. You want that freedom, even though they may not want it. It's I'm gonna hold that true for me because I want to honor my own desire of I want to have that freedom. Yeah. Maybe I'm only intimate with one person, but to go for a walk, to whatever those things look like, to have the freedom to explore that. Because I've self-included, there's been times where I'm I'll sacrifice this because I really like this person, or I want to make sure they feel comfortable. It's you're dishonoring yourself in that situation.
Yeah.
And not respecting yourself enough of but I want this. Yeah. Because that's it. That's enough.
And that was honestly one of the first times that I really put myself out like that, and I honored all of my desires and my wants and who I was. And to this date, that's the best relationship that I have. We are not together anymore in that type of dynamic, but we are very much in love with each other.
You weren't in that dynamic in an open sense, or you aren't together at all?
We are still together in some capacity. Yeah, we're in an open relationship, I guess, but we are not each other's primary partner. Gotcha. And what that really means is that we have a friendship. We are very much in love with each other. We still have sex with each other. We spend intentional time, but we are not looking to further this relationship as as people that are going to get married and they're going to have kids.
Gotcha.
At some point, this relationship, and she knows this, so I'm happy to speak about it. Yeah. At some point, this relationship may just become a friendship, and we may not have sex with each other anymore. But we are very clear that we want to be in each other's lives. Yeah. And a traditional split breakup, that was just not what I wanted to do, because I love her very much, and I want to keep being part of her life. I want her to be part of it. She is an amazing human. You guys know her, and she's a beautiful person, and I want to be around her. I want to have her in my life. We've created beauty and magic together. I don't know how you just drop that. Yeah. You just say no more, done. See you, bye.
I appreciate so much when couples, if they have any kind of breakup or change in their dynamic, a lot of times they'll just